Alabama Governor Kay Ivey has signed into law a bill that law enforcement authorities say will help keep drug-impaired drivers off the road. The new law gives oral fluid, saliva, tests for drugs the same implied consent legal standing as the breath and blood tests used to detect alcohol after an arrest. Drivers arrested for DUI will be required to submit to the saliva test or lose their driving privileges for 3 months. Authorities say the oral fluid tests, which have been done in Alabama for about 3 years, are an important tool because the samples can be taken on the roadside after an arrest. Ideally, the oral fluid test results are used in conjunction with blood tests, which are often taken several hours after the arrest. The bill, SB 258 by Senator Arthur Orr, R. Decatur, passed the House and Senate without a dissenting vote. It got final approval on the last day of the legislative session, May 17. Officials with the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences and the Alabama District Attorneys Association, who helped write the bill, say it will save lives. It will definitely help make Alabama roadways a safer place, ADFS Director Angelo Della Manna said. Della Manna said the legislation is the result of several years of work. When police stop a driver for suspicion of DUI, they can give a preliminary breath test to help determine probable cause. Drivers can refuse the test. If the officer determines, based on his observations, field sobriety tests, or some combination of factors, that a driver is impaired and makes an arrest, a part of the DUI law called implied consent comes into play. Implied consent means that anyone who drives a vehicle is deemed to have consented to a chemical test of breath, blood, or urine for alcohol after an arrest for DUI. After the arrest, a driver is asked to take an official alcohol breath test, typically at the police station or jail. Drivers can refuse to take the test. But under implied consent, they face an automatic 90-day license suspension even before a DUI conviction. For repeat offenders, the suspension is a year or longer. The ADFS oversees and manages the state's DUI breath alcohol testing program. It owns the approximately 236 Draeger breath testing machines at police agencies across the state. For several years, ADFS has also operated an oral fluid drug testing program. There are 2 main components. The agency has approved 3 roadside oral fluid screening devices. They are used by some police departments to establish probable cause before an arrest, similar to the preliminary breath tests for alcohol. SB 258 does not change the use of those roadside oral fluid screening tests. But the ADFS also oversees a more extensive program of post-arrest oral fluid tests. The tests are used to confirm the presence and level of drugs in the saliva. Police take a saliva sample at the roadside using a quantizal collection device.